Group texts were blowing up about the markets and the memes this week. You are definitely not alone. If a lot of them included advice from novice traders who had no idea what they were talking about, you are definitely not alone. But good thing we got Sarah Ponsek here with me now to break down the frequently asked questions of the week. Sarah, awesome to have you back on the show. We reached out to our Reddit, or to our community who was talking about Reddit. We reached out to our community who's been following this story. We have lots of questions for you. They asked us the questions on Instagram. We got them on Instagram. But I got to ask you this basic question before we get to those. Why should somebody who's not like a regular participant in the market, who doesn't follow the market story week to week, why should they care about what happened?
So one, I've got to say, my group texts were also blowing up this week, and a lot of people who don't typically pay attention to markets.
But they're texting the right person.
Yeah, I'm not answering their questions. But why should people beyond those participating in the stock market pay attention to this? John Authors got into this a little bit earlier on in the show. And it's that this is almost a cultural moment. We think about a decade ago and the Occupy Wall Street movement. It was a movement that really came back to the concept of economic inequality, and that's really what the basis of this is, or at least that's what a lot of people want you to believe. For example, if you were to go on Wall Street Bets, there are many posts about experiences that users had back in 2008 during the financial crisis, how they came to really be angry with the Wall Street establishment and hedge funds, especially hedge funds who are taking active short positions and hoping that a company will fail. So what this really boils down to is this cultural moment where there is this tug of war between what some look at as the little guy, the retail trader, and the big guy, the Wall Street establishment. And at the same time, it's not just traders and those on Reddit, on Twitter who are paying attention. I mean, you've got big politicians, you've got the SEC. I mean, there are multiple people paying attention now.
Sarah, one question that we got in a lot of different ways was about short selling. I think a lot of people understand the concept of buying a stock at a certain price, holding it for a period of time, and then selling it for more or for less. But we heard a lot about shorting this week with regard to hedge funds that had shorted certain stocks like GameStop. So very basic question. What is a short?
So I'll explain it to you this way. One, in order to short a stock, it has to be done in a margin account because you're borrowing that stock from someone else. So the way this works is a short seller will borrow a stock from someone who holds the stock, and they hope that they will be able to sell the stock and buy it back at a cheaper price. So say you short a stock, you borrow it at $80 a share, it falls to $11, and you are able to buy it back at $11. You profit that difference. You profit on the stock falling that way. Then at the end of it, you return the stock back to the person you borrowed it from. So you have to borrow the stock, and essentially you profit from the differential between the price you borrowed it at and what you eventually sell it at.
And the flip side of that is if the stock price doesn't fall, like we saw with GameStop this week, you get squeezed.
Right, you have unlimited losses if a stock is rising, if you are short the stock, which is exactly what happened with these hedge funds this week, and they lost billions of dollars.
Okay, question now from a lot of people. A lot of people ask this one: is it wrong for a group of people, let's say friends, to buy stocks together after discussing it on forums?
You mean the legal question?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a big one. Technically, and it's a really difficult question for securities lawyers, for the SEC. If you're just getting together with a group of friends and you all say, hey, let's buy this stock at this time together. Technically, there's nothing illegal about that. It's really only illegal if there's false information being spread or non-public information.
All right, very good stuff. Sarah Ponsek, thank you